You do the introduction since you're starting restarting it.
Hello, everybody. Okay, wait. Let me start that over because it was. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Total Drama Yum Yum Happy Go Time Candy Fish Tales podcast. Today our glorious topic is how do you fix Total Drama All Stars? Because it's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty trash series, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be frank.
So on the first episode of our Minecraft Let's Play here, we're gonna discuss how to fix the dumpster fire that is the horrible character development of Total Drama All Stars. What do you guys think?
Okay, you fix All Stars by making it like season 9.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that. Yeah. Or just putting it after Pakachu Island.
Like, you basically do Pakachu Island, and you do, like, a redemption season, or Pakachu Island vs. Revenge. Actually, no, you do Pakachu Island vs. Revenge first, and then a redemption season, and then you do All-Stars.
And we should probably warn people that this is, like, some high-level total drama philosophy here.
Plays.
Like, you need some expertise on the series to follow along here, I think.
Yeah. No,
definitely.
You do what you do. Yeah, for the fix All Stars, you need to do after what was the 5th season before Revenge. You do Pakachu Island, and then you do Pakachu Island versus Revenge, and then you do Redemption, and then you do All Stars.
Since we can't do that, and we can't make a cast for it right now, the way we could do this is. First thing you have to do is change the cast, because Sam. Nah.
Well, what'd you do? Let's assume our constraints is it has to be after Revenge, and you can only have 14 players.
I think first of all, I think Lashana is a good addition.
I'd say I'd flip Lindsay and Lashana, and I'd flip Sam for Owen. I would do that.
No, but then the balance would be there.
Who cares?
No, yeah, it would, because you flip Owen for Sam and Lashana for Lindsay. It's gender balance. Generations.
The generation balance.
Well, it's 22 to 13. Of course, it's going to be imbalanced.
Yeah, I think it's fine to have an imbalance given that Gen 1 had 2 more seasons. Well, 2.5 if you count Revenge is in the
if you're doing heck an All-Stars...
Or 24 to 6.
The island characters definitely had more time to shine as All-Stars, so... To be fair...
Yeah. I think Lashana for Lindsay and then Owen for Sam would actually make it a little bit better. Because then you won't have anyone that's really too out of place.
And then Sam's plot was literally just Owen.
Yeah, like Lindsay was legitimately an obvious first boot. It was easy like that. Like it was either her or Sam would be the obvious first boot, and whichever one went first, the other one would go like not that long after. If you have Owen and Lashana in there, it's not that obvious.
True.
Yeah.
With that being said, who would be the first boot in that season? I'd honestly
Owen. I honestly see Owen.
I think Owen would be a good one. The only reason I say no for Owen is that his plotline would be like what Sam eliminated.
Yeah, but like if Lindsay's swap with Lashana, would Lashana be the first boot?
I feel like that wouldn't work as well. She doesn't work well as the first boot, really.
I guess, because Owen being first boot kind of makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he can work as a first boot. Like, you can just have him leave immediately.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Owen does work as first boot, since we're basically flipping out the 2 obvious first boots.
Okay, so next thing. How would you do the teams? Like,
I'd still do heroes versus villains.
Yeah, I think that's...
Okay. You can make an argument for Lashana as a villain for what she did in action.
That's true, and Chris definitely doesn't care about certain actions that are heroic.
Yeah, I mean that's why Courtney and Gwen were on their original teams.
Yeah, but how about like the swaps? Like, would you swap Cameron?
I would still leave the Cameron swap in there, except have him do more and not have him like last as he did.
I think the whole Gwen being on the villains team thing was kind of contrived. Like, I think she's a fan favorite from Island. I think it makes sense that she would be more of a hero, honestly.
I would flip Courtney and Gwen. I would put Gwen on the heroes and Courtney as a villain.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Gwen,
that makes sense.
Courtney's been a season villain.
Exactly.
Like, the fact that
Courtney's
started
been the antagonist of the season. It doesn't make any
Courtney,
sense.
like, as much as Duncan...
I mean, a bad one, but still
Yeah.
As much as Duncan's actions were inexcusable, Courtney did kind of drive him there because she's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But then also that actually messes with something. So how would you change the swap between Duncan and Courtney then? because they would both be on the same team. So there would be no
maybe
swap
just
between
not
Duncan and
do
Courtney.
as many. I mean, I think first of all, Duncan's plotline was kind of stupid, so you could just completely come up with something else.
Duncan's good guy plotline should have been mixed in with beating Mal.
It really should.
Yeah.
And then he kind of becomes the good guy by beating Mal, and then like
Yeah, I agree.
And that kind of moves into something. How would you do the immunity idol this season?
I would do it. I do too.
I think we should get into that once we figure some other stuff out. Because I think
I'd play it not in the same episode it's found.
Yeah.
I know. I would. Yeah, I haven't found the episode before in the same way, right?
And it kind of leaves ambiguity.
And then it gets re-put in the play so you can get played back and merge.
Okay, so who would you just give it to? Like rough draft, who would you just give it to?
I think I'd still give it to Alejandro and have Mario out Heather.
I'd still do that.
I'd still do that.
I thought it was decent that like Heather made a dumb move and then Alejandro kind of took advantage of that.
Would you still make her do a dumb move, or would you make him find it naturally? Because Heather being stupid did not leave a good taste in people's mouths.
Yeah,
do a similar thing, but make Heather less stupid.
Like maybe
have her not just
more.
I think her leaving wasn't a bad idea.
Have her
She
actually hide it like decently, and then Alejandro just like happens to also be really smart, you know?
Yeah.
Make it more so Alejandro being cunning than it is Heather being dumb.
That's exactly.
I think what Heather leaving it where she did wasn't a bad idea, but she should have been more careful about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it should have been more. I think she should have checked around, and then Alejandro actually does find it because, like, maybe he's also searching for it.
I know. When I was watching that, I was definitely thinking, Heather, what the heck are you
doing?
You didn't even check if there's anybody around.
Yeah, when I was watching, I was like, Heather, it's not a bad idea. You just execute absolutely horribly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so I think we'd still do that.
So Trey, you said you would give 2 this season?
Yeah, the 2. In the merge, I'd probably give it to
Scott.
I think I'd give it to. I want to give it to someone who would either out Mike or Alejandro, 1 to 2. I
personally don't even know. I think Scott should go a lot.
You know, it'd be a good idea. I think I'd give it to Zoe and she'd play and get rid of Mike.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Because I think Mal is like, there's so much wasted potential there with Mal.
I think honestly the best thing to do with Mal is really play up the cheese with him, you know? Just
honestly, the way to fix Mal is basically the way we can fix All-Stars the most, because when you look at All-Stars, the plots are all really centered around Mal because he's the main one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, way more than they should have been.
First thing to do is, like, Cameron's elimination, for example, with the rigged votes. Don't save him because there's no point in doing that. He's just going to last for another episode to do basically nothing.
Yeah, I never liked the fact that Mel fails twice to get Cameron out.
Yeah. I think,
despite it being a thing that's played,
I think him pulling a Herald actually should have been a good way to.
What'd you say?
Well, I think Harold got rid of Courtney the exact same way Mal was intending to get rid of Cameron.
Yeah.
I think that would have actually been a good way. It would have been like a callback to that moment, and Harold was just like infamous. It would have been a good callback, and it would have been a good way like get Mal as like an actual decent villain.
Literally, because Harold does the same animation of him opening up the box with the votes in it. Like literally exactly the same animation.
And he just starts whistling. He's like, "Hack Cameron, suck it."
Well, I really like how it is in its current form with Mel just dropping all the cards like while whistling. I think that's a really cool
that
moment.
That was like, oh
spoiled
shit.
by him not actually.
I was watching, it was like, oh shit, they just went Cameron.
Okay,
and then he gets
something else. Everyone, I'm pretty sure, is in agreement that Zoe's stupidity was...
Yeah, Zoe's stupidity was... I think you get rid of Cameron earlier, which excuses him.
I mean,
and then Zoe figures it out like final 7.
She was convinced.
I feel like Zoe's stupidity could be fixed just by fixing other things. And it would just kind of come naturally.
Okay, here's what I think. I think you move Merch to 7 because it's a 14-person season.
Yeah.
And Duncan, who gets moved to the Heroes team, I think... then warn Zoe right before his non-blowing up a mansion elimination.
And wait, who did we say Duncan swapped with in this version again?
Who did he swap with originally? Was it Courtney?
Yeah, it was Courtney.
I think, why not have him swap with Cameron?
Yeah.
True.
I think
so,
Cameron.
Instead of Cameron switching by himself, Chris.
Why not? Yeah, Chris swap Cameron and Duncan.
We need to do this. Yeah,
and
I think that'd be good.
I remember they tried to do some really contrived stuff with like Cameron being sort of evil, but it was just stupid.
He
like
only just
made
like
a couple
like
comments
Scott.
about like maybe I am being evil. It's like no, you're not.
The only thing he did that was evil was he put Scott in front of Fang and made him as a freaking dork and just trolled the entire challenge with the raft. So another thing is, for the plot line with Mal and Alejandro, if you would make Duncan and Mal the main rivalry, what would you do?
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, I really
Duncan knows Mal from the past.
Yeah, I'd really like it because Duncan already knows Mel, and then you have Alejandro find out the same way he does, and then they work together kind of like they did in World Tour, and that, because those interactions were really cool, and if they had that again to try and take down someone more evil than themselves, that could be a really cool idea.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea.
Where it is now, they don't go anywhere with
Duncan. I kind of like the
Duncan.
idea of like you make Mal so intimidating that you have like the whole villains team trying to take him down,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
But
Honestly,
then, maybe
I
the
feel
heroes just kind of feel too sympathetic to Mike to really
What about this? Okay, we want Duncan to swap to heroes. Why not have Mike actually reveal himself as kind of a villain earlier and have him swap? No,
Chris just puts out.
I considered that, but I wasn't.
Like, I could see Chris just exposing Mal breaking stuff and whatnot, and then he's just like, "Oh yeah, you're switching." And then they expose him early, and Mal is like, well, there's no point in keeping up with charade, and he actually has to do stuff in order to keep himself safe instead of pretending to be Mike.
Alberta's said that when I have Duncan get eliminated, have him leave a message instead of Alejandro leaving the clue.
Well,
what Noah did with Owen and World Tour.
Yeah.
With Alejandro.
So after that, and then how would you do merge exactly? Would you?
Okay, I think we do the same boot order. Pre-merge, except we cut it. Duncan's the last pre-merge boot. We cut it to 7.
Okay, that
I think because I'd be cut in half. That's fair. A 7-person merge.
So
we just did that revenge.
Make merge. That's impossible.
This is our version of All Stars.
But how would that work though with Duncan hypothetically more in the Mal plot?
It would be like Mal
because Duncan's on the heroes team at that point, so he's with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets more front. He figured it out. He figured it out in the same amount of time. But also Duncan gets in good with Zoe too at that point too. So I think Duncan leaving a clue with Zoe isn't too not impossible.
They could just do a thing with an idol with Mal to give him an easier way of eliminating somebody without making it too weird.
I think why not have Scott go do his usual antics and go idol hunting again, thinking he's on the bottom.
Yeah,
because that's what made Scott really good in Revenge. He was idol hunting like a nut, and no one else was.
But he actually was doing that in All Stars. But the thing was that Chris duped him and said that the idol was on Island.
Well, why not have one where Heather? Well, why not have one where Heather found it, and then have one actually on Exile?
Yeah, because Scott was actually trying to find it, but it was
having it was funny.
Yeah, I'd probably why not have Scott find it? Let's see, and have him play it Final 5, and he idols out one of Courtney or Mike.
Mm-hmm. But I feel
I don't know if I even like the idea of. I feel like Scott should go earlier in this season because he was just kind of he didn't do anything, and I don't know what we can have him do.
I know, but you saw that was him idling someone out.
Yeah, but him doing it twice.
You could honestly just have a different character playing the idol.
Yeah, that's what Scott's known for. Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but Scott doesn't do anything else. He'd just be around doing his idol thing and nothing else. And that's
I feel like
do that, and he's paying Magnet.
Here. Let's start doing elimination order. So we have Owen and Lashana swapped in for Lindsay and Sam. Lashana will take a villain spot. We flip Courtney and Gwen, so Gwen's on the heroes originally, but Courtney's on the villains originally. Owen will be on the heroes.
But wait,
and
then somebody's gonna be because if
we gotta flip
replacing Lindsay, I feel like Lashana should be a hero. That just
Lashana will be a hero then. Okay, that's my bad. Yeah. Lashana will be a hero, then Courtney and Gwen will flip, and Gwen will be a hero, and Courtney will be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so we have Owen as the first boot. I think Lightning and Joe going in that order is fine. In the way that they went out, I think everyone was fine with that. I think we stick with that. At the next, who goes?
Okay, so
Sierra.
Sierra.
Sierra can't outlast Heather.
Sierra should
I really hate that she does that.
I think what happens was Mike starts coming to play, and then he gets rid of her phone, makes sure kind of goes cuckoo, and everyone's like, okay, you need to go see Cody. We'll vote you out as pity. We'll make you a pity vote. I think that's fair.
The weird vote where it was like the other team voted for Sierra was literally.
Here's what else I think. I think Heather finds the idol here, and then I think Alejandro. Where does she put it? To where Alejandro finds it eventually at some point to idol Heather out the game.
Like maybe like just I don't know, like in a tree stump or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I do like the idea of Alejandro outwitting Heather and finding it.
And also, would you still do that? Legs is my sleep. My legs are asleep.
I actually do. No, I do like that because he manipulated Heather, fooled everyone. I think that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fine to leave alone.
Okay.
That was actually one of the few things that I think everyone was fine with.
No, the thing is, we were talking about Scott, and we don't really know where to put him. How about Scott Nee? Would that still be a thing?
Definitely
Scott,
not.
No.
Yeah.
That was just forced. That's just
I'd
dumb.
say definitely not, because Scott Nee was, I think, the worst canon chip.
I think, as much as I don't like Duncan, I think we stick with it and just have Duncan not be as two-faced. Trying to go...
Yeah.
I think we stick with that. Duncan's committed to Gwen.
Courtney was like really...
Yeah, I think we have Duncan stay committed to Gwen, and those two stick together.
Yeah.
So what's our order again?
So we go Owen, Lightning, Joe, Sierra, and then Heather gets idled out by Alejandro.
Mm-hmm.
That early.
So you're down to 9. Who goes?
So are they going that early then?
Like Shauna?
I'm trying to think.
I feel like Cameron.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah,
Cameron would get flipped at this point. Maybe flipped onto the villain's team, and then he gets voted out like an episode or two later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have Mal actually manipulate the votes for that one.
Yeah.
And do the
Mal
little
should
whistle.
get Cameron out.
Yeah. Mal needs to get him out for that. So,
yeah. And then I think when Duncan goes, Duncan's the last pre-bench boot.
Oh wait, hold up! I just realized something. Are we making like 13 episodes or 26 episodes?
Oh, that's a good point.
It's 14, I guess. Okay. For simplicity's sake, we'll just do 13. But I think there should be a couple like reward challenges, like in between, obviously. So it's merged after Duncan goes. Duncan warns Zoe at this point, right? So Zoe's kind of like aware, but isn't too sure. I think. Who's the merge boot?
Who's left at that point?
It's Scott, Lashana.
I feel like we
Scott,
need to Google
Lashana,
track of
Zoe. It's Scott, Lashana, Mike,
maybe,
Zoe, Alejandro.
She wouldn't be really involved.
Courtney and Gwen.
I think Shauna's a really good competitor too. She could be a good one.
I think this would be,
It could be something Mal can do.
Maybe Scott. If
we all agree on Mal third, right?
Yeah. I think Mal and Zoe being third and fourth would actually be fine.
Zoe fourth.
And Mal's like against the final two.
I would have thought Zoe finale after she's the one to take down Mal, maybe?
Yeah, I think Mal and Zoe would be
unless we really stick with it.
I mean,
because Mal would get Alejandro out still, right?
Yeah.
How would we feel about doing a double? If we do that, then it's going to be Gwen or Alejandro probably in that finale with probably Courtney. That'd be a double winner.
No.
Courtney and Zoe, maybe.
Because at this point, it'd be Courtney. If we do the 2 out of 3 and 4, it'd be just leave us with LaShawna, Scott, and Courtney.
Then just do Courtney, Scott like everyone wants it to. Because people, I think the most popular finale for All Stars is like Courtney, Scott.
Yeah, but the thing is, we need Scott to do so. He's just going to flip it.
But how does one of them take out Mal at third, though?
I think we just had the finale just go one episode earlier.
No, just use
with Zoe and Mike.
And Mike disturbs Mal and he keeps him from winning something and they eliminate him because he's a threat.
Scott beats Mal by hitting him with a shovel again.
Here, what about this? What about we do a Courtney and LaShawna finale?
That'd be pretty good.
I feel like Gen 1 and Gen 2 would be the way to go, though.
Yeah,
that's true, but I think everyone wants Courtney and LaShawna in a finale, and I think everyone would be actually really good with it.
I
think it's not like Mike
the Gen 1 cast, so they would, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm thinking a girl finale would set off the balance because we
just Cameron and Lightning were in the finale previously.
I think Courtney
I don't care about
fair.
the gender finale thing.
Yeah, but it's just like a balance thing. But I feel like a Gen 1, Gen 2 finale is fair.
If we do that, I think in my opinion it should either be Courtney, Lashana, Courtney, Zoe, or Lashana and Zoe. I think if that's the case.
We definitely gotta talk about what Lashana would do exactly.
She would definitely be a weird one to implement. But
Lashana's either a merge boot or in the finale. That's my thought.
She'd have to be a challenge based if she gets to the finale.
That's what I think too. What Eva could have been.
Or maybe she's the merge boot because she's a challenge based.
Remember, there's a theory on Reddit that Alejandro wanted to work with Lashana in World Tour and take her far. Why not just have that happen in this one? Alejandro work with Lashana.
But would Lashana do that though after the sisters' song?
That's true.
And also, so we have Duncan booted right before merge. Alejandro loses an ally against the fight against Mal, so then he takes Lashana, and then stuff happens from there.
I think, Duncan tells... What if Zoe and Lashana work together after Zoe starts piecing together what Duncan's warning was?
And then maybe they can get rid of Lashana by doing something like maybe an auto elimination.
Maybe Lashana goes 6.
So you know the boat race?
Yeah.
What if they made the boat race the last person to get there gets eliminated, and they just make it to where Lashana's last somehow? Isn't that because it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
We haven't mentioned Gwen once in this merge discussion.
Yeah, that plotline's her fixing her relationship with Courtney.
Okay, so we're all in agreement that it's a Sunday Muddy Sunday's plot never happens.
Yes.
Because that breaks two already established parts of Courtney.
But the one thing about that is that that's something Mal did with the chart. How would we do anything with him in that episode?
We're not really up to that, though.
I think, let's see, who would be left in that episode? Well, we need to figure out who's left in that episode before we can figure out what he does. I think, let's do the boat racing. Lashana goes out at 7th. Who goes out at 6?
Scott? Maybe.
I think Alejandro would be a good one to have him get idled out at.
Yeah.
What if Scott finds an idol, then Mel steals it and uses it on Alejandro because Alejandro is trying to
just
beat
give
him.
Mel an idol just because
stealing an idol,
Mel getting an idol would be really good.
Yeah.
Mel could bait Scott into getting yeeted by Fang and then use that to steal Scott's idol.
What if Mike decided to work with? What if Mel decided to work with Scott and then just got him to use his idol on him? Yeah. What about this? Would this make Mike now manipulates Scott into using his idol on Mal to get rid of Alejandro?
I feel like getting Scott beat up by Fang would just be more savage.
I know it would be more funny, but it's just saddening. But we really want Mal to be established as a villain, and him manipulating someone who is actually a really good villain into using the idol on him against one of the best villains of all time. I think that'd be really good.
That's good.
I guess that's a case of manipulating villain versus physical villain, I guess.
Yeah, that's my thought.
So
we take out Alejandro at 6. So we're still left with the same final 5.
So we're still Lashana out on the.
So Lashana's at 7th, and then we go Alejandro at 6, and we have some manipulation thing with Mel and Scott.
Okay, so Gwen.
I gotta say, I don't like the idea of Scott going so late because I don't know what he would actually.
Well, what if Scott goes 5th?
What if?
Yeah.
I feel like Gwen or Scott would have to be.
Gwen or Scott,
because let's be real here. I think Scott would an ideal order be maybe Scott at 5th, Gwen at 4th, Mike at 3rd, and Zoe and Courtney in the finale.
Yeah, maybe.
I like the idea of Zoe and Courtney finale because Zoe beating Mal at 3rd.
And yeah.
Keep your garbage on.
But what would make Scott? What would give Scott the ability to get the 5th instead of just floating?
I think you could.
He could just be more villainous, like he is in the first 2 episodes, but especially.
I think the idea of him finding an idol and getting manipulated into
he would be in an alliance with Mal. Mal carries him, and then he basically loses it. Like, he just gets eliminated because of it, I guess.
I guess you could have Scott, like, I mean, we talked yesterday about something about maybe Scott is kind of traumatized from the whole Fang thing, and that kind of changed
the whole Fang, the robot.
Okay, so they did this thing with Alejandro where his legs actually were
yeah, maybe we have Scott. Maybe Scott's just not all there this time.
Yeah,
maybe
like,
he's
I feel like
maybe he's traumatized.
you know?
They have some traumatized storyline.
Because I've seen a lot of fanfics do that, so like rewrites, and that was interesting enough.
I think that'd be interesting to actually like repercussions for what they did with Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So like Scott's maybe not all the way there, so he does technically float to the end, but there's actually a real reason why he floated instead of actually playing like a villain.
Because in its current form, the only sort of impact that has is just Scott not wanting to jump off the cliff in episode 1.
Yeah.
And to have it do more would be cool.
So, okay, well, Scott goes to 5th. We have some traumatized storyline for him. Mm-hmm. I think Gwen goes 4th. Her and Courtney fix their relationship. The bullshit for Courtney revoting for herself doesn't happen.
Okay, but wait, that episode wouldn't be a double elimination because Cameron and... Wait, no, we don't have a double elimination yet, do we?
No, we haven't.
Well, I mean, because we've changed the order and stuff, though, but like... based on All Stars' current form, I think Cameron Duncan in the boat episode would have been the best double elimination. That's kind of changed with what we've got going on.
You could just do them as a double elimination before merge. Whatever.
Well, I mean, they are in that order at the moment. So.
Yes, yeah.
And one hasn't been done in the pre-merge before, so that could be a neat twist.
Yeah. So
Cameron and Duncan go at the same time?
Yeah.
That we're thinking? Yeah. Well, then that would mean both teams will eliminate someone. Because Duncan's on the heroes at this point, Cameron's on the villains.
Chris will just make a twist where it's
could
like, they vote for both teams vote for somebody.
I mean, you could really do anything
honestly,
with that, really.
I really like the idea of something happening where, like, Chris is like, I don't like either of you teams today.
Or you could just do a Duncan.
Yeah, just have someone get disqualified or something again. I don't know.
Yeah, or you could just have, like, the...
Mel could blow up the mansion and frame Duncan, and that could get Duncan out.
You could have
and then he rigs the votes for Cameron, and that's like a super evil episode on Mel's part.
Yeah, and then Duncan... Well, then there's, like, video evidence that Duncan didn't do it, so he doesn't go to jail.
Yeah.
And Mel finds that, and then...
And then they like, oh, it's Mel, it's Mike. But then they also see that it's because of a disorder, so Mike also doesn't go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
No one's in jail, so no stupid bullshit.
Okay, so,
and then there's like some Chris karma on that part then, because no one gets punished.
Okay, so another thing, we're at 4 now, right?
It's Gwen, Courtney, Zoe, and Mike left.
Okay, so
or Mel.
It's no a double elimination, so it's gonna be a vote.
I think Courtney. I think.
Sorry.
Actually, wait. Wouldn't Mal go at 4?
No.
Or do you want like
3?
Gwen going to final 3 makes no sense because she's a double.
That's true. There's no way she makes them. I'm trying to figure this out. Do you think Mal convinces Zoe to vote with him, and they tie? It's between Mal and Gwen, and then Mal just beats her.
Tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think Mal manipulates. I think Zoe at this point's caught on that's Mal, but I think she was like gets manipulated in the fact that she knows if she votes out Mal now, there's probably no saving Mike.
Yeah, and she does.
So she needs to keep him around.
And then in the final 3, Mel like almost kills her or something. And then she realizes she's safer without him, and then gets him out at 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Mike like defeats him or something.
Okay, so then.
Yeah, Mike can defeat him.
Oh, that reminds me.
So,
we gotta talk about the whole reset button.
Does that mean that not the reset button? Because we're never doing the reset button.
No, I mean, we gotta talk about how that's gonna go instead of the reset button. Obviously, we're not gonna have the reset.
Just have some massive anime battle. Just have them shoot fireballs at each other.
Yeah.
Zoe almost dies in the finale, like because of the challenge, and then that just
get Mike out. Here's an idea. What What if the Mike thing isn't resolved? Mal's still Mal in the finale. Zoe gets Mal on the team, and then we have that happen.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, I like that.
And what if, like, you know how they do alternate endings? What if Zoe takes too long to get Mal back, or she like takes too long to get Mike back? I mean, and then like
So a Mal
ending her
ending.
taking too long. Yeah. But
Mal ending.
Okay, so this is.
Zoe.
So our order is Owen gets eliminated first for pretty much the same reason as Lindsay, except he's a former winner, so he's kind of got like more of a stigma.
And
Lightning
the
goes
mascot
next
contest is
Fighting
cool.
and Joe both go next for the same reasons. Sierra goes next for kind of going crazy and just being a pity vote out because she's lost it. Heather goes next because she gets idled out by Alejandro. Following that, it's a double with Cameron and Duncan.
Yeah.
And then Mal frames Duncan for blowing up the mansion, which gets him eliminated. But he gets to go to jail because he doesn't
vote Cameron as well.
Yes. Mal gets more villainous. So we get then we get to merge. Lashana goes at 7 because she was the boat race.
Yeah.
Then who goes at 6? It's not Scott goes at 5. Alejandro goes at 6, gets idled out by Mal after he manipulates Scott into giving him the idol that he has.
Oh yeah, that's a decent point. We put Sierra on the heroes team, didn't we? We didn't even consider
we did.
that. We didn't really consider the fact that she's kind of a bad person.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, she's
who can you really
where else does
swap
she go?
Yeah,
I mean, unless we want to go up to
really-
like, unless we want to go up to like 21, like a rogue team, that would be where Lightning and like Sierra go. But like,
Unless in a
We're not
weird
gonna do
twist,
that.
you have. What if in a weird twist you have Sierra on the villains team instead?
Well, then that would mean
Heather's on the heroes because of a World Tour arc.
Yeah, Sierra's kind of got
But
more.
that kind of messes up.
Sierra's kind
That
of
kind of
a
messes up
Yeah.
the idol
neutral
thing,
vibe.
though. So
yeah, no, I think we stick with what we got because Sierra's like a chaotic good, I guess.
I think she's kind of
No,
Chris,
chaotic
no.
neutral.
Chris wouldn't care because Chris is making the team, and he would.
That's exactly what I
Sierra
was
didn't
gonna say.
kill anyone.
Izzy is
well,
chaotic.
Sierra was a
Sierra
lot better
is
at the end of
chaotic
World
neutral.
Tour, though.
Or maybe
Yeah, 'cause
neither,
like,
'cause
so
he's
So
not
at that
chaotic
point, she's
neutral.
basically good.
Yeah, Sierra became actually a pretty good game player at the end.
To Chris,
Because like
though,
in
Sierra would probably be the
Drumheller and
biggest
the race
villain.
to Hawaii, she
Yeah.
like helped Cody and wasn't creepy and stuff.
No one has been
Yeah.
as terrible to Chris than Sierra. I would think.
This is true, but I mean, given who we have on teams, I think if I were to pick Chris, she'd probably be like the last people he puts on the heroes because he has no other choice.
He's just whatever.
Because I feel like the only way you could get Sierra on the villains would be to swap with Heather, but then that messes up.
That messes up her idol. Yeah,
Unless you have a
Gwen.
team swap in
I
there.
think I think people were fine with Sierra on the heroes. I think we just leave that. I mean, there's no real need to change it. She's the fourth one gone.
Hey, we swapped Gwen and Courtney, right?
Gwen's on the heroes and Courtney's on the villains.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then we
Which I
we have
think is a
Cameron and
good
Duncan
choice.
swap at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the Lashana gets to boat, and then Alejandro gets idled out by Mal, he manipulates Scott, and then at final 5, Scott goes because he loses the challenge probably, and so his traumatization comes to light. I bet. And then at final 4, Gwen gets voted out after she ties with Mal. Mal beats her in the challenge, the tiebreaker challenge.
Because her teaming up with Courtney to vote Mal could be a cool thing with them making up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mal goes at 3rd, but that plotline isn't revealed yet. And then the teams get picked. Zoe gets Mal, and then whoever, Cameron, and
Or Duncan.
or Duncan, and Duncan maybe.
Mel and
Courtney
Cameron, and then
Courtney
Zoe
gets
Mel
Gwen
trying
and
to kill
someone.
Cameron all challenge,
Yeah.
which slows her down and stuff.
Chris is makes the forces hey, you're going to jail if you don't help with this challenge. He's just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Mal plotline gets resolved there, so it still gets resolved in the finale.
So
But I mean, it still works.
okay. So then we already discussed that the way Mal dies or whatever is no reset button.
It's some anime fighting bullshit. Dragon Ball Z style.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, Avatar: The Last Airbender, some Pokemon involved, all of that.
Since we're talking about that, how do we do the whole Mike in the mind plot line the whole season?
Yeah,
or
I
just keep
definitely
that?
don't think. I think maybe I think maybe what you do with that is you have like Mike.
Maybe you don't
kind of show up every once in a while.
So many episodes.
Like I think what you do is you have Mike not completely gone. Like you have him almost kind of become an alternate personality where he only shows up occasionally. You know.
They could be partially co-conscious.
And then maybe he kind of like talks to himself or like talks to Mal sometime. Like they have kind of a conversation. Like I can even picture a scene like
where Mal
he, like,
is just taunting Mike.
Or something.
That is a thing with dissociative identity disorder. It's called co-consciousness. Yeah.
Okay.
Where you can basically have two alters sort of in the driver's seat at the same time, basically, and they can have some communication. But it's usually something that's developed over time.
I can imagine that's definitely not fun.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
They just talk to each other back and forth, and their hair keeps flipping up and down.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so funny.
That'd be
Mal is like keeping his hair up.
Definitely be an interesting scene.
And then we all know that Zoe's not stupid, so she's like just kind of conflicted about it.
She's not oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we've resolved All Stars and made it a lot better. It's probably far from perfect. Probably Scott will probably get a little too far, but I think we wrap up his plot better.
And the only things we didn't really talk about are challenges, but most of them should be.
The challenges, I think some should change to what it was originally planned to be, like flashback challenges. It's like older seasons.
I know this is kind of fan service, but I really wish we had dodgeball back and some shape or form.
That would be
and then Mal just goes ham. Makes that the first one, and then Mal just goes ham on Owen.
He goes Owen. He goes Owen.
He goes Owen.
He goes Owen. Owen goes ballistic. Well, what if? Would it be a cool idea to bring back like a former contestant for each game, for each challenge?
Oh, you mean like
what the one that did Revenge?
Yeah,
like they bring back
cool. Because also we would have jury and finale, right? Because All Stars didn't actually have jury in the finale.
I think they should do a jury. I think every single All Star should vote on the jury too.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it's gonna be Survivor-esque, maybe have like each player do like a jury instead of doing the whole like volcano bullshit. Have like each give a jury speech, and each All Star will place a vote. These are all All Stars. It's not like only 5 get a vote. I think all 12 should vote.
Like doing a vote, they would probably still do a challenge though, because it's so interesting.
True, or maybe they do with Action didn't have a tie.
Yeah, they could do the way Action. Yeah, you go.
But then the whole tie thing and the Mal plot getting resolved, would that even be like enough time?
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
That's true.
I feel like the challenge would be important in like. Because I still like the idea of Zoe almost dying and then that freeing Mike enough to be able to battle Mal or something.
Yeah, I can see it.
Epic anime battle.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that, actually. So we'll keep the challenge, but like maybe not have them all go up in the balloons and make them
definitely not
think everyone
and
bad.
Also, okay, so I know that concept. Like I know that we said that we would want All Stars happening after Pockettail, but in this we were talking about it didn't. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
For simplicity's sake, yeah.
Well, for simplicity's sake.
Should we talk a different version that is after Pockettail?
Here.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like that would be real.
I will make a little document real quick, just like I'll take notes.
Yeah, here.
I've been taking notes this whole time because I can't like comprehend it otherwise.
Well, you take
should
this.
Like make a document. I think.
Well, I've just been writing down the order in the text.
Just write down. Yeah.
Okay. Right before we go on to that.
Hear me out on this. Hi guys, this is Trick V from the podcast. We didn't intend to end the podcast here. However, the original recording was like 3 hours long, so we just cut it down to like 2 parts. So this is part 1, and we're just going to end it right about here. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for when the part 2 of this original recording comes out.